game 4 of this Warriors-Rockets series, what the heck were you doing? Because you missed the game, okay? The Warriors beat the Rockets 109-106, taking a 3-1 lead in this series and going back to Houston for game 5 to try to close this thing out. I said this before. It's a setup when the Warriors are a 7 seed playing a high 2 seed with no real playoff experience other than Fred VanVleet, which he had an amazing game. But if you really watch enough basketball, you understand that the Rockets should have won that one game off a great Fred VanVleet game because it's not really in the cards. He's going to have that again for game 5. Now, I understand that everyone's like, but the Rockets, they did this during the season. None of that matters in the playoffs. None of that matters. What you might have did in the season doesn't matter in playoff basketball. Everything is intensified. The Rockets also want to play bully ball and be physical with the Warriors, which I don't think is sustainable because once you get through the nonsense of everything, the veteran team's going to lock in, especially because the Warriors have their own bullies in Jimmy Butler and in Draymond Green. And you saw what happened in that first half. All that was happening with the techs and the flagrants and all of the scrums that were happening. It worked in the Rockets' favor because that's chaos. They're a young team that just wants to run. They want to just go and do what they need to do. They want to get you out of your game. Well, what happened? They're up 7 going into the half. But then the veteran team locks in and says, whoa, this ain't our game. Like, we're getting into arguments with children, and we're not playing basketball. And what do the Warriors do? You got a 10-point swing. All of a sudden, they're up 10 when you were up 7, and it changes everything. A lot of y'all also owe Steve Kerr an apology because y'all be saying he can't coach. But if you ask me throughout this entire series, he has out-coached Ime Udoka almost every single game. And I saw it even more in this game 4. Now, you saw what happened. Draymond Green gets the 5 foul. Steve Kerr has to take him out because I'm going to need you in the final minutes for a big stop eventually, which, again, that is going to happen. And he goes, okay, we're going to play some of our younger guys, get some bigs in there. Houston takes advantage of it. Şengün ends up going off. He has an amazing game while Draymond's on the bench, okay? You're thinking that they should keep building on that. Steven Adams is giving them great quality minutes, 4 to 5 blocks. And what does Steve Kerr do? He says, I don't like how this is going. It's a chess match. I need my guys to get to the paint to open up what we want to do and space the floor to get our shots off. But I can't do that with this rim protector. So what do? Looney, come on in. We're about to do Hack Adams. And what does Ime Udoka do? He falls for it. He falls for it because Adams is not a great free throw shooter. But the thing is, the Rockets weren't even close to being in the bonus. So he fell for the bait of what Steve Kerr was going to do, which was, I'm going to make you get him off this floor because I know you don't want him shooting free throws. And the Rockets shot horribly from the free throw line. Out of 31 free throws, they only made 19. So that's one reason why they lost. They couldn't hit a free throw. So what does Ime do? Adams, come on out, which is all Steve Kerr needed. And if you watch the sequence of when Adam goes out and what the Warriors are able to do offensively, changes the whole thing. This also is when I knew the game was going to shift. And this goes back to what I just said. The Rockets want to be physical and play this brand of bully basketball, but the Warriors got their own bullies. And we all know what happens when Jimmy Butler feels like you just talking a little too much to him. And we all heard what Jimmy said. You a bum, and you know what he said. You can go find the video. Once I saw that, I said, oh, this isn't going to end well because you got Draymond. And one of those fouls on Draymond was a little suspect, and I don't think that should have counted for 2 fouls, but we'll talk about that another day. You got Draymond out of here, and one of our dogs is on the bench. But you ain't getting me up out of here. What does Jimmy do? Draymond, you're on the bench. Don't worry. Steph, you ain't playing that great. Don't worry. Me and Podziemski got you. Podziemski gave him 26 points and really probably should be getting the game ball. But Jimmy Butler gets 27 points. And late in that game, he starts to go off, starts getting to the basket, starts taking advantage of those one-on-ones that he was having. He started getting some foul calls and getting to the free throw line. That changes the momentum of the entire game. And this is why I say Steve Kerr outcoached Ime Udoka, because he sat there and he wanted the others to beat them. And if you listen to what he said kind of during that first half when he was getting interviewed, he was like, well, we want the other guys to take the shot. So I think we're doing a good job. Then you get in the post-game press conference and he's like, we can't let guys, just take shots. We need to close out. That's what you fell victim to. You wanted the others to beat you, and the others beat you. And the others are Jimmy Butler giving you 27 points. The others are Podziemski giving you 26 points. The others are Buddy Hield giving you 15 points and playing defense. You're not going to win many games like that if that's the mentality that you're going off of, because you are only focused on beating Steph Curry. It's not going to work. And again, big credit to Fred VanVleet. I think he played amazing. Thompson started to play great. But I stand on what I've always said. If Jalen Green is going to be inconsistent, they're not winning this series. The fact that at a certain point in this game, he became unplayable is a problem. The fact that these are your playoff splits in game 1 of the NBA playoffs is a problem. 7, 38, 9, and 8. That's just being that inconsistent. There is no room for success there. I think Ime Udoka understands that as well. Maybe we're talking about a different game with a Fred VanVleet 30-piece and a Jalen Green 20-piece. It's okay if you ain't scoring 30 points every game. But 7, 9, and 8, that's just not, it's not acceptable. And it's not something that should just be looked over and tossed away in the playoffs. Now let's talk about Draymond Green. You can say what you want about Draymond Green, but if it's one thing we all should be able to agree on is that he is one of the best defenders we have ever seen in the NBA. Simple as that. To be able to do what he's able to do, to switch 1 through 5 on an island, game on the line, and be able with 5 fouls, move your feet, make someone take a tough shot and not foul is a big deal. It's a big deal, and it shouldn't be glossed over. He was sitting on the bench for majority of that second half because of the 5 fouls. Steve Kerr says, you know what? I'm going to trust you. Go out there and do what you do. And this is why I say the Houston Rockets just have been outcoached and just aren't playing a lot of good, poised basketball. The minute Draymond Green gets back in this game, everybody should have been trying to go at him to get him out the game. We might be talking about a different story if Draymond Green is not out there in the final seconds of this game to defend Sengun, who was getting whatever he wanted when Draymond wasn't out there. But nobody did that. The minute he got back, Sengun stopped trying to really get into the paint. He started settling for those middies and those kind of tough shots, bringing him out of his comfort zone. So then you get into the game one-on-one, which again, I think that the game really should have been in Fred VanVleet's hand. He was hitting everything, but that's another story. And you see what Draymond does. Is this shot makeable? Yes. But is it an uncomfortable and difficult shot? Yes. Sengun is an all-star. This is why I say Houston got outcoached. Why are you not running a play for him to be on the block? Let's use his size. He's been dominating in the paint, but he couldn't do that because Draymond Green is back out there. So I'm going to bring you out this paint and make you have to start this play way further up than you're wanting to do. He tried to post up Draymond. He ain't moving. I'm out here on this island, and I'm not asking for help. So you're not going to be able to throw this ball out. It's me and you, bro. And what did Draymond do? He stood firm. Sengun started to panic. Playoff inexperience. Seconds are ticking off the clock. He takes this difficult shot that's not what he wanted, and Draymond stands firm, hands up. And then you got Jimmy Butler who tells Draymond, you get the stop, I'm going to get the rebound. And what does he do? He comes flying in to get the rebound. And this is also coaching because what did Ime do? He put Adams back in. But what did Steve Kerr do? I'm bringing Looney in. He's going to box you out, and I'm going to leave Jimmy over there to come in and get this rebound. It's all the smallest of details. And the psychological warfare with the Warriors and the Rockets started with Game 3. When Draymond started talking to Jalen Green. And what did Jalen Green say? Oh, he don't do nothing else. He got to talk. You started to believe the lie that Draymond Green is not Draymond Green when the moments are really big. And they fell victim to that and said, all right, let's put him on an island. Come on now. This is the tiniest of things in NBA playoff games. And that is why I always had the Warriors winning this series. I would be very surprised if this series goes 7 because now Houston would have to win consecutive games. And I just don't know if they have enough in the tank to be able to do that. Again, you get a great game from Sengun and Fred VanVleet, but Fred has struggled throughout this series. He's a little bit inconsistent at times. So I don't know if he has another one in him. Hopefully Jalen Green has a big game in him for Game 5, or this is really over. If you're the Warriors, you want to close out in Game 5. Obviously, they need the rest. They are a little bit banged up, and you want to be able to get this over with. This isn't going past 6, though. Simple as that. If Houston is to win Game 5, hey, it's home court momentum. You should get that, or at least be able to compete for that. But I don't see them being able to walk back in, go to Golden State, and beat Golden State in 6. I don't see it enforcing 7. I think this is over in 5 or 6. The Warriors are playing some basketball. This series has not disappointed, and you better not miss another game.